Hello, hello, Archons. Welcome to a recorded playthrough or partial playthrough of Hellseed. Trying to make up for that disastrous live stream that I attempted and still can't quite figure out how to stream a game live, but maybe I will someday. At any rate, this is not going to be a complete playthrough of Hellseed. This might be an hour, hour and a half or so, because time just does not allow me to do an entire playthrough of the game. It's a few hours. Hope you enjoy.
The life of a police inspector is not the easiest one. Probably the reason I've never been able to start a family. For starters, it's dangerous work. Real dangerous. It's hard to get close to someone knowing any day could be your last. You push that fear down, hoping you're putting on a brave face. Still ends the same though. Quiet apartment, nothing but regret. It's in those quiet moments I think about how different things could be if she were still here. Some days can be a pain in the ass, sitting at the desk, just waiting for a disaster to strike. But then, there are days when you wish you didn't get the call. Well, today I think it's gonna be one of those fucking days. This morning I received a call from the San Tommaso clinic. Dr. Santis, one of the top psychiatrists in the city, went missing without a trace. Almost everyone at the department is treating it like a joke, saying things like, "Quack's gone missing." Me, on the other hand, I have a strange feeling about this. I just hope I haven't fucked up coming to his house alone.
You know, backup. Never a bad idea. So, in the early versions of the game, that there was some of that intro with the police officer doing a little bit of a soliloquy, if you will, or a monologue on some of that stuff. But in the final version of the game, which is the one that I'm playing here, they added a lot of the visuals and they added a little bit to the script as well. So, of course, we get objectives and little collector's items all through the game. And our current objective is enter the doctor's house. I need to reach the door and enter the house, but something feels off. Why does everything seem so strange? Man, you're living in a horror movie. I don't know what to tell you. And in the final version of the game, this lovely courtyard scene has been added as well. Early versions didn't have this. It kind of reminds me... yeah, I'd say so, bud. It kind of reminds me of an Outlast type approach where you're approaching the hospital and it looks like, you know, a pretty cool or at least a, normal-ish building. And then you enter and find out what a nightmare it is inside. Okay, so this locket is going to be important
This is the necklace
as the game goes on.
I've been looking for it for months. What the hell is it doing here in front of the doctor's house?
Indeed. Lucio Toscani necklace. Caterina, my love, I will never forget you. The sentence engraved on this pendant gets meaning only if read together with the sentence on the pendant I gave you. This will bind us forever. Every time I look at it, I realize how much I loved you and how cruel it was not being able to say I love you before I lost you forever. That terrible morning on October 9th, 1972. I lost it months ago, and I just can't understand why it was in front of the doctor's house. And in we go. Chapter 1, The Cellar. Because you always have to turn the fuse box on. All right, so I like how this is set up. It's like a police corkboard sort of a crime investigation corkboard type thing. You know what I'm talking about, where they draw the lines with the string and stuff. So as we add to our notes, as we discover things as the game goes on, there will be string tying the notes together. It's pretty cool. Find a light switch and try to turn on the light. That's our current objective. No documents yet, and the only item we have is the locket. So right off the bat, we have a crucifix, and you can see that it can actually be handled. So what happens is, okay, there's no point in turning it now. In the early versions of the game, you could actually turn it early on. You could turn it upside down. But the goal is, as the game progresses, there's a chance that your player character may become possessed. And if that's in danger of happening, then the crucifixes in the house will turn upside down. You have to go find the upside down ones and turn them right side up again. Now, one of the warnings for this game is blasphemy. So I guess there are a few blasphemous images in the game, especially in the early versions of the game. I don't think this exists in the version that I'm playing now, but in the earlier versions, the holy pictures, one of which you see right here, and there are others throughout the house as well, they would get a sort of devil or demon face superimposed onto the face of the holy figure in the painting. And I guess that could come across as being a blasphemous image. I gotta admit, it was a little disturbing for me to see that. However, I don't think the crucifixes turning upside down can be considered blasphemous, because what your goal is to actually set them back right again. So your goal is to actually preserve the holy image and show respect to the crucifix. But here we have an image called the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And if you take a look, you see that in the image of the Sacred Heart, his hands are pierced from the nails of his crucifixion. And the heart itself, let me see if I can turn off the flashlight. That might actually be a little bit better to see, because the flashlight can cause some glare sometimes. You see Christ's heart surmounted by a cross, for obvious reasons, and a flame that signifies the passion that Christ has, that passionate love to save the human race. His heart, figuratively speaking, is on fire with divine love for humanity. The cross, for obvious reasons, and the crown of thorns wrapped around the heart, signifying not only his kingship, but also, of course, his suffering and death. And then right where his finger is here, right where it's pointing, is a gash in the heart, and you can just see, hopefully you can see it in the video, a drop or two of blood coming from this gash in his heart, signifying when the Roman soldier pierced his side with a lance, after Jesus has already died, but when his body is still on the cross. In the Gospel of John, chapter 19, we read that a Roman soldier, in order to make sure that Jesus was dead, pierced his side with a lance, and blood and water poured forth from the wound. It actually does look like there's some water coming here too, so like a lighter color, maybe. The image isn't really clear. But anyway, that is the popular image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and this was a devotion that had been around for a very long time, but it was really made famous and popularized by and promoted by a nun named Margaret Mary Alacoque. Margaret Mary Alacoque, who was a nun who lived in France in the 1700s somewhere. I'm not sure of the exact date. Now here we're going to have to put a ladder later on. There's something up here that we're going to have to reach. And we cannot use the phone or turn on the light because there's no power. We can, however, grab some items, such as this police report. On 12th September 1972, we received an anonymous, spelled wrong, it's okay, call reporting nocturnal noises from a house located in Borgata Coindo, T.O. Please pardon my pronunciation. Once in the house, we met the two spouses, De Santis, Angelo, and De Rossi, Laura, owners of the property, who confirmed that they were the cause of the disturbing noises. There we go. The two confessed to having had a strong quarrel for personal reasons. They confirmed it was an isolated incident that will not be repeated in the future. Sure it won't. Sure it won't. Expired identity card. Surname DeSantis, name Angelo, birth date 5/5/1930, birthplace Torino, profession psychiatrist, hair brown, eyes brown, expiration date 7/10/1977. So what we got here, a phone book for the city of Torino as of 1980. That's going to be important. We're going to grab it. By the way, Torino is known in English as Turin. And you may recognize that name because of the Shroud of Turin. And maybe I'll do a separate video on the shroud at one point, but it is believed to be the burial shroud of Jesus Christ himself. The church actually has never made a formal pronouncement on that, whether or not it actually is the burial shroud of Christ, but the church allows the faithful to believe that it is or it isn't. No Catholic is required to believe either way. So now here again, up at the top here, we have, this is kind of a combination of images. This is not only the Sacred Heart, kinda, because we have the heart with the flame, but it's also combined with an image known as the Divine Mercy. And this is a devotion that was popularized by a nun from Poland named Faustina Kowalska. She has since been canonized. And Margaret Mary Alacoque was canonized as well. These women are both saints now. Back in the 1930s, Sister Faustina actually popularized the Divine Mercy devotion. She claimed to have visions of Christ. And one of those visions instructed her to have a painting made of Christ in a specific posture, which you see here. One hand on his chest, where his heart would be, and the other raised in blessing. But in the Divine Mercy image, the heart image is not present. But there are, as you can see, these two, it looks like rays of light almost coming forth from Jesus' heart. One is clear or white, representing the water that flowed from his heart when pierced by the soldier's lance on the cross, again, in the Gospel of John. And the other looks kind of brown here, but it's supposed to be red or pink. And that indicates the blood that poured forth from his heart, also as a result of being pierced by the soldier's lance. So this is kind of a combination of two devotional images, the Sacred Heart and the Divine Mercy. The letters IHS are a typical representation or symbol of Christ. They stand for the Latin words in hoc signo, and this refers to a dream that the Roman Emperor Constantine had before the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, which was going to be an extremely decisive battle for him. And in that dream, he saw a cross appear in the sky, and he was not Christian at this time. He had Christian sympathies, but he wasn't actually a Christian yet. And when he saw this cross in the sky in his dream, he heard a voice saying, "By this sign, in hoc signo, vinces, you will conquer." And so the next day for the battle, he had the cross painted on the shields of all of his soldiers in his army, and he ended up winning the battle. And that is when he converted to Christianity, because he believed that the Christian God had given him that victory. And had sent him that dream. So anyway, when you see IHS, it means by this sign, you will conquer. That is by the sign of the cross. Here we have an Eastern Christian style icon of the Virgin Mary with child. I'm not sure what specific title this would be of the Blessed Virgin. But we also have, oh, here it is. Here's another image of Mary. And this one is called Mary, Undoer of Knots. And I believe that this particular image and devotion originated in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of Pope Francis' favorite images and titles of Mary. She's holding a string or a rope, and you can see that sort of on the right-hand side here, it's knotted in several places, and she is untying the knots. And on the left-hand side, where the angel is holding the other end of the string, there are no knots in it. And so this is, tells us that if we ask the Blessed Virgin for her prayers, then she will help to untie the knots of our lives. Here we have, again, an image of the Sacred Heart combined with Divine Mercy. And over here on the right-hand side, we have an image of what's called the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Now, to really understand the meaning of the word immaculate, I recommend my video on the movie Immaculate, because that's where I explain what the Immaculate Conception actually is in Catholic doctrine. It is not the virginal conception of Jesus. It is the conception of Mary without original sin. And so the image of her heart here has the flame. Again, she loved humanity so much that she agreed to be the mother of the Messiah, and she went through horrible suffering, seeing her child tortured to death, basically, and that's indicated by the sword piercing her heart here. And this also refers to a part in the Gospel of Luke, when the prophet Simeon at the Jerusalem temple told Mary that a sword would pierce her heart because of everything that she would witness her son suffer in his life and death. And then wrapped around her heart here are roses. Roses are a sign of the Virgin Mary. In fact, she is sometimes called the mystic rose. Here we have a different kind of image of the Sacred Heart, but it's really the same idea. This image is portrayed in different ways by different artists throughout the years. You have, again, we saw this sort of the entryway by the door. So I heard a noise coming from the bathroom, so the game wants me to go in here.
I feel strange.
So that happens both when the character is close to getting possessed and when the character is close to having some kind of a breakthrough happen in the game. But I'm taking a chance here, because if you wait too long, if you just stand around and don't do much of anything, you will eventually get possessed. So, standing around, taking time to explain stuff, I'm risking possession here. And this is also one of those games where you have to sort of go back and forth sometimes until something actually happens, which can be annoying, and I know a lot of gamers don't like that about horror games in particular. You have to go past the same spot frequently, and, once you pass the same spot like 10 times or whatever, something finally happens. I don't mind it too much. There's always a toilet in horror games. I don't know why. We'll give it a flush just for the heck of it. Oh. And here's the kitchen. And over here we have, oops, yep, I've been taking too long, see? So my job is to set the crucifix right again. So here, and that will stop the possession from happening. So here we have an apparently glow-in-the-dark image of the Virgin Mary, again. And I don't know if this particular image is Our Lady of the Rosary, but you can see there's a rosary hanging from her arm here. There's a goodie in here. Cigarette pack. But instead of cigs, we have a rolled piece of paper. And can't really read what's on it. It says, you can see Torino, and there are a bunch of numbers. So this is going to sort of tie in with the phone book that we had found in the drawer earlier. We're going to have to put a ladder up here later. Oh. Post-it. Remember to check the supply of bullets in the trunk of the car for the next hunting session. That is going to come into play later. Of course, the obligatory fridge full of rotten food from pretty much every horror game ever. TV won't turn on. Of course, I'm going to turn the power on. I think there's a jump scare coming up here. No, not yet. That lamp, that light, is going to crash to the ground at some point. This sort of mezzanine area will open up later. Oop. Gotta fix that. It's a hiding spot, although you don't really need to use it. In my memory. Here's that icon again. Sacred Heart. Eventually we're going to have to find a button to fix that answering machine. See what I go through for you guys? Risking possession just to explain things. I've played through this game a few times. Actually, never all the way through, but I can just never remember what we need this basement door to open, and I can just never remember what makes it open. April 10th, 1980. Bring Laura 200,000 lira for monthly expenses. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the trash can here. Gotta open up the trash can. Thorazine 25. Chlorpromazine. Thorazine belong to a group of drugs known as phenothiazines, which act on the central nervous system. They are used to treat the following conditions: schizophrenia and other psychoses, particularly paranoia, delusions and feelings of persecution, mania, overactive behavior, and hypomania, elated moods and excitability, anxiety, agitation, and violent or dangerously impulsive behavior. Symptoms of overdosage may include drowsiness or loss of consciousness, hypotension, tachycardia, ventricular arrhythmias, acute extrapyramidal reactions, and hypothermia. I have no idea what extrapyramidal means. No idea. Maybe that was the missing piece that we needed in order to make the basement door open. Let's see. And there is going to be a jump scare when that light... Oh, yeah, here we go. Something's happening. Crucifix situation looks good. So far, anyway. We can take a look in here. Yep, all set. Yeah, there it goes. But see how you have to sort of walk around for a little bit before something happens? You have to sort of traverse the same ground repeatedly. We're going to have to put a ladder here at some point as well. Invoice number 120, date 15th July 1979. Description: supply and assembly of triple security code lock. So, I wonder if we're going to have to use a code for a lock at some point. So the game clearly wants us to go up here where this light is flashing. We can't grab that flashlight. Mid-floor hutch key. Use this to open the hutch panels in the mid-floor corridor. Okay. And again, we already have a flashlight, so it's no huge loss. We're going to need those valves later in the game. This is the car where the bullets are in the trunk. But we can't get in there just yet. We will be able to get in there later. And here's the lovely fuse box. Broken key in the lock. Instructions for in case of short circuit. Select all lines except the faulty one by pressing the switches at the bottom. Turn on the power again by pressing the switch at the top. If the electric circuit does not work, it means that the faulty line has not been excluded. In this case, repeat the operation. So it's a lot less complicated than it sounds. In case of water leakage from the pipes, close all 4 red valves. So as you can imagine, we are going to need all of this. Is there something else here that I need? Oops, not the valve. I can see a crack on the right of the cage. Maybe I could try to unlock it with a lever. Okay. So now we have to obtain a lever. These people smoke a lot. I don't know if you can hear a little tune playing in the background. It's my dryer. It sings to me. Oh, I forgot to look at this. I miss you, your daddy. So this is the daughter of the family, and our notes have been updated. So here we're having the string effect going on. So we have Angelo de Santis, and he has strings going to his wife Laura de Rossi, and he is a psychiatrist by trade, and he also has a string connecting him to his daughter. This is all I have discovered until now. Check these notes to know more about the investigation. Okay. I have the game volume down pretty low. I hope it's not too low. But I don't want the game volume to overwhelm, because that has happened sometimes in the past. The game volume has been too loud. And I hope it's not too quiet either. Hard to find a happy medium sometimes. Wondering if I missed something here in the basement. Oh yeah, here we go. I missed something, alright. Okay, jump scare coming up. Be warned. Bolt cutters useful for breaking chains or lockers. There are always bolt cutters, too. It wouldn't be a horror game without bolt cutters. There are always toilets, fuses, and bolt cutters. Did you guys ever notice that? In horror games, every horror game has toilets, fuses, and bolt cutters. Alright, so this panel, we need a screwdriver. I need a star screwdriver for opening the panel. In the United States, we call it a Phillips or a Phillips head screwdriver. I guess they call it a star screwdriver in Europe, maybe? We're going to see that guy again later in the game as we progress. And of course, we have to go in the same direction the monster just went in. That happens a lot in this game, too. Oh, there's the step ladder. Okay. Ladder useful for reaching the top of big cabinets. Well, that's typically what I use ladders for. So we're going to go back and hit all of the places where we needed to use a ladder. Aha, locked box key. This opens the locked box in the kitchen. Perfect. We can't examine that photo. We're going to have to remember to grab the ladder and take it with us every time, or else we will arrive at our next destination and be without it and have to go back and get it, and that will make us very grumpy. So this is a locked box that we just got the key to, and here we have an audio cassette which we can't play right now. Telephone recording of February 5th, 1973. But we'll just keep that in our inventory for right now. And now let's head back downstairs, because there was an area there where we also needed to use a ladder. Here we go, right here. Here's a lever. It can be used for opening small broken panels, among other things. But that's a massive hint that this is the tool that we need to get into the fuse box. Whoop. Forgot about that one. I love how also in horror games, your flashlights, like the middle of the flashlight doesn't work. And it doesn't really have, no flashlights in horror games have a great range. Used lever. And you notice the save icon is a cross, which I think is pretty clever. I like that. Now, we just have to play around with these fuses. And, you know, it's just trial and error, really. Okay, and now it becomes a survival horror game. Sorry, I would have warned you about the jump scare if I had known it was coming. I can never remember what the sequence is for those fuses. So now we're going to have to get past the rats in one piece. Can jump up on that other, was it a sofa or whatever? Or you can just hightail it over here. And we should be okay now. Yep. Get up the stairs, shut the door. There we go. Okay. But now we should be able to turn on the lights. So let's do that. And some of them are already on. Here we go. There we go. Actually, I liked it better with the light off. It's a pretty horrible little room. That one's still locked. Oh! Game wants us to go over here now to the window. Again, I've got the sound down so low. Sometimes I'm not hearing the sound cues in the game, but there are sound cues that the game gives you. Oh, I still don't have the key for that one. Okay. So yeah, just because we got the fuse box fixed is... Oh, there's that thing from... It used to be in there. That thing keeps moving around. Just because we fixed the fuse box does not mean that the lights are going to stay on. Alright. Now in here. And our famous horror movie trope of the staticky TV. Lunchroom hutch key. That's the dining room. Use this to open the hutch panels in the lunchroom. Okay, and again, here we have the Immaculate Heart and another crucifix. Whoops, there was something there that I had. Here we go, penalty. Penalty on 11th February 1970 in Buonarroti Street, Vinovo Municipality at 5 p.m. Sir, Mr. I guess DeSantis Angelo violated the highway code for speeding. Uh-oh. So much for being a respected member of the medical community. There we go. Can't grab either one of those. Ground floor planimetry. This planimetry shows how to access the cellar. This planimetry shows how to access to the doctor's office. So it's great that they give you these, but honestly, I've never really used them in this game. Maps. I don't know if I was pronouncing that right. Planimetry. Knock, 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 knock. This is one of my favorite moments in this game. So the knocking is on the other door, and our flashlight is not working. There goes Rosemary's baby. Oh.
It's Toscani. Who am I talking to?
Hi, Inspector. It's Angela from the department. Is everything all right? You sound a little upset.
Everything's okay, Angela. I haven't been sleeping well.
Have you discovered anything?
We did some research in the Land Registry archive. The villa was purchased by Dr. Santis about 20 years ago. From the blueprints filed 5 years earlier, we know it must exist. A passage of about 50 meters down in the cellar. Maybe a bunker dating back to the war. The strange thing is that the doctor filed a new document last year.
Gonna have to go down there.
The passage no longer exists. It doesn't make sense that the doctor did some work to cover this additional space. It couldn't have disappeared into thin air.
That is indeed very strange.
Indeed.
Okay. Great job, Angela.
Great job, Angela. Keep up the good work, Angela. All right. Okay, flashlight works again. Find the secret passage. So there was an area here as well where we need to use the ladder. The New Psychiatry, Angelo De Santis. So this is a book that the doctor who owned this house wrote himself. Camilla drawing. This is my birthday. Hand in hand we celebrate. Dear father, dear mother, I'm so happy to be your daughter. I love you. Camilla. Picked up ladder. Let's turn this lamp on just for good measure. Up. There's that thing back where it belongs. Do I have... Wait, items. Okay, hang on. Mid-floor hutch key, lunchroom hutch key. So, I don't know why you have this key to open the doors in this hutch here in the dining room or lunchroom as it's called, because there's nothing in here. Not that I've been able to find anyway. I've played this part of the game many times and I've never been able to find why this is important. Or what might be in here. Maybe it's just a sort of red herring to get you to be in this part of the house for a bit? I don't know. Maybe it's just a distraction so the demons can go wreak havoc somewhere else and know that you're not paying attention to them. Forgot about that guy. That's part of the new that's part of the most recent update to the game. And I can't remember if we're supposed to go over here or not. Not taking a chance for right now. Because he shows up later too, and if you get too close to him, that's it. And there's not even an option to work that switch. Oh. I thought there was something there that we needed to look at or take or something. Maybe I am supposed to get close to that guy upstairs. So the reason I keep looking in the kitchen is because there's going to be a big queue in there where the fridge door is open with the light, the fridge light on, prompting us to go up to it. There he is. Okay. Here goes nothing, guys. I don't remember if we're supposed to get close to this guy or not. Okay. I guess we were supposed to. It's hard to tell. Okay. Door creaking open. Follow the sound. Whoops. It's like I said, I forgot a few parts of this game. There it is. Okay, game's prompting us to go to the fridge. And here we have to duck down a bit because there's a monster over there. Alright, so gore warning. Gore warning coming up. Mid-floor key. So now we finally have what we need in order to open this door straight ahead. And right over here on the table, we have the screwdriver that we needed. Star screwdriver, a screwdriver useful for opening panels and other things. Now, was it here? Nope, it was in the other one. So let's head down the hall. Staticky TV is on again. It was in here. Okay. I like how you only have to click on the panel. Cellar door key. This key opens the door for accessing the cellar. You don't have to click on each bolt or each screw at a time. You just have to click on the panel itself and it applies the screwdriver to it. All right, so the cellar is fun. I say that partially with sarcasm. Okay, nothing of interest in there. Nothing of interest in here. Ah, divorce certificate. Turin Court, first section, has pronounced the following judgment in the case promoted in date 10/05/1973 by DeSantis, Angelo, and De Rossi, Laura. So these dates, I think they're using the European dating where the month comes first and then the day. In the States, we use the day first and then the month. Actually, no, it's the other way around. We say the month first and then the day. So with this one, 10/5, in the States, that would mean October 5th. But in Europe, it would be May 10th. So I think that's the dating that they're using. By Article 4, Law Number 298/170, modified by Article 8, Law Number 174/187, the court accepts the request for dissolution of the marriage. So remember how they were fighting? Okay, the power's back on. Okay, follow the blood trail, I guess. in the absence of any other or better suggestion. This is going to be locked, but we'll head in there later in the game, and the game is prompting us towards the cellar door right here. This door, I don't think ever opens. I don't think this door ever opens. So we're saving, which is always trouble, as I'm sure you know. You've ever played, well, any game really, not just a horror game. When the game auto-saves, you know something is happening. Or about to happen, where you could very well get killed. So it looks like this is a specific kind of a cellar, a wine cellar. My kind of place, man. Vintage 1956. I wonder if that means anything. That particular year, that particular number. Okay, so you see the little glowing rectangle at the end there? That is the keypad to this door. And of course, we have the famous pentacle or pentagram. Usually the word pentacle is used for the five-pointed star with the single point at the top and a circle around it. But really the term pentacle or pentagram can be used, either term can be used for this image. And then also when the single point is down at the bottom and the 2 points are up at the top, that is usually understood to be an actual satanic image. And that could be called either a pentacle or a pentagram as well. So in order to get in here, we're going to have to type in a code. And the code is revealed to us in our two items, actually, or two documents. So we have the Torino 1980 phone book, but we also have that rolled piece of paper, which is actually in items, not in documents. I don't know why it's in items and not documents, but here's what it says. Torino 1980, AF8. Okay, this is where I'm going to start writing things down. AF8, BC9, BD7, CA8, and DA9. Okay, so now we go to the phone book, and the letters in the rolled piece of paper are the initials of the names in the phone book. So the first one was AF8, so we need to find a name with the initials AF. And so that is the second name down from the bottom here, Amore Filippo. And so the 8 is how many numbers do we count over from the left to get the number that we want. So there are 9 numbers in each listing. And so the 8th one for Amore Filippo would be 1. So AF8 is the number 1. And then we apply the same method to BC9, and that's Barone Ciro. Let's go and see. Okay, that's the only BC. So the 9th one is the number 2. BD, that's Barone Daniele. And that's the 7th number. So that would be 5. CA, 8. So that's Costanzi Amalia. And that would be the number 7. And then the final one is DA9. And we have D'Angelo Ambra. And that would be the number 9. So the code that we want is 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. Sounds about right from what I remember of playing this game. So now we're going to see how much I have to edit this video, depending on how many times I get killed by the monster in here. 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. right, so now we need to find boards to block the cellar door. One of the cool things is that you have these wardrobes, one of which is right in front of us on the right-hand side here. You have those wardrobes to hide in from this monster, but you can also hide in dark corners. Mostly. So here she comes looking for her. She can't see me because I'm crouched in the dark corner. And then I'm going to hightail it. Hopefully she doesn't notice me. And thankfully the boards glow. So you'll know when you found one. In early versions of the game, the boards did not glow. And you can fight her, by the way. She can be pushed away. I've got 3. I think you need 4 in order to board up the... Whoa, there she comes. No, 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 no. I think you need 4 boards in order to board up the door. I often get killed by this chick. Oh. Right there. I can never find that stupid 4th board. Oh, there it is.
Yes. Now I can block the cellar door.
Oh no! Oh no! No, no, no! No, 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 no! Oh, come on! I'm gonna have to do that all over again. So I'll probably edit out the next part. See, so you have the quick time things there, right? And you gotta be... Quick is the operative word. You gotta be really fast if you're gonna push her away. They really don't give you enough time to even see which button you need to push.
Yes. Now I can block the cellar door.
Okay, guys, I made it. Whew. That was effort 3. Effort 3. But finally done. We haven't seen the last of her, though, as you might suspect. So I think I need to call Angela again? No one to call now. Okay, guess not. Oh, game wants me to go down here. This door. My flashlight's not working, of course, because why would it? Okay, bit of a gore trigger warning here for you. Sorry, I forgot there was a jump scare there. My apologies. I hate jump scares myself, so I try to give a warning if I remember that they're coming. And here we go. There's a doctor office key, and of course it's too disgusting to get hands on, so... gloves, useful to protect hands. Used gloves, and we get the doctor office key. Use this to open the Santis doctor office in the house. You can't shut off the water here this time, but here we go. We're at least able to exit the room, even though the lights still aren't working. So now we proceed to the same part of the house we were just in, where the cellar door is. We're not going back in the cellar, but it's the same part of the house. Oh! Wonder if that's Angela.
Detective
Hello.
Toscani.
Hi, Inspector, it's Angela again. Good news. I dug a little deeper, and now we have the doctor's patient list. We can fax it over to you.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a fax machine here. Listen to me, Angela.
Of course there
I
is.
found the secret passage. Inside there was a maniac who tried to kill me. For now, I've got her trapped behind the cellar door. She can't get upstairs. But you have to send in reinforcements, now!
Finally, he requests backup.
Inspector, but we've got problems here at the police station. We're stretched thin as it is. Someone detonated a bomb nearby, and we're trying to figure out what's going on.
So the bomb doesn't have anything to do with the game.
I'll try to find a fax.
I thought it did first time I played
have
it,
to
but
understand
it
why
doesn't.
That monster was down there.
Chapter 2, Camilla. I have no idea who that guy is. All right. And now, on we proceed to the doctor's office. I don't think it's through here, no. I think that door opens on its own, if I'm not mistaken. Notice the clocks all have 11:11 as the time, which is refreshing. I like that, because, again, so many horror games have 3:33 or exactly 3 o'clock.
There's something blocking the door on the other side.
So now I'm trapped here. But I do wonder... I do wonder what the significance is of 11:11. I know that that is, I believe it was Armistice of World War I. The World War I Armistice was signed on November 11th at 11 a.m., I believe.
I feel strange.
So, yeah, that does not mean that he's getting possessed in this case. It means that we're progressing the way that we should in the game. Sometimes the book titles are entertaining to read. We've got psychotherapy, which makes sense. This guy was a psychiatrist. Wise blood. Warren County, Ohio? What's that doing here? This takes place in Italy. That's pretty fun. Parker 51. I don't know what that is. Herman Melville. We have the Man in the Iron Mask. Master and... Margarita? Guess? Emile Zola, The Beast Within. Rudyard Kipling. collected works, maybe? Well, anyway. Here's Sigmund Freud, known as the father of psychotherapy. A chart of the human brain. Whistler's mother. Famous painting. Order of Physicians of the Piedmont Region, Certificate of Registration in the Professional Board of Surgeons from 2nd February 1954. Awarded, of course, to our very own Dr. DeSantis. University of Turin on 14th September 1958 confers to Dr. DeSantis Angelo, born in Turin the 5th May 1930, the degree of specialist in psychiatry. Here is the fax machine that we were looking for. Yay. Doesn't seem to be anything in here of interest or necessity. Post-it, code reminder, Camilla's middle name is... Her middle name is Rita.
Strange.
But I have to remember what numbers coincide with the name Rita. Closet key. The key of the closet in front of doctor office. Invoice. Invoice number 90/72. Date 18th May 1972. Description. Supply for a mahogany coffin. That's quite sinister. Dimensions. 160 centimeters by 55 centimeters by 40 centimeters. Quantity 1.
I feel
Oh
strange.
my. Is he getting possessed again? What is going on? Because he shouldn't be feeling that strange all the time. The crucifixes are okay. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. We'll just carry on. As we were. There's a cassette player, which we can now use in order to play the cassette that we found earlier. Here's another invoice. Invoice number 90/72. Date 10th June 1972. Description. Demolition of Julia car with license plate A62015TO. Quantity 1. So there was a car crash. Okay, let's see if we can play this cassette.
Hello, Doctor. We haven't met before, so allow me to introduce myself. I am a spiritual advisor. Some months ago, you met a subordinate of mine who left you a business card. We understand you're going through a tough time and we want to help you. There is a chance we can solve all of your problems. Call us back if you're interested.
Very mysterious. So now, let's proceed across the hall and use that key. There's a lot of stuff in this closet, so we got to make sure to not miss anything. So the ladder brings us to this old doctor bag. But is it an old bag or is it a bag for old doctors? And we find a wallet. Inside the wallet is a business card with the fax number that I need. Now I need to call Angela. But do you think the game is really going to allow us to do that? It's not finished with us yet. So shut the door, look in this hamper here. Pick up the tin box. We got a coffee tin, metallic tin box used for keeping small objects. Maybe there's something inside. And there sure enough is side hallway door key, the key of the door for the side hallway in the mid-floor. So that's the one that we had tried earlier. Here's another tin can, and we find the eject button for the answering machine that was on the mezzanine level in the main house. If you remember that from earlier in the game, we now have that button and we can repair that answering machine. Here's another penalty. On 15th March 1971, in Highway A55 Street, Turin Province, at 7 p.m., Mr. DeSantis Angelo violated the highway code for speeding. So here's the second, it's at least the second, right? Ticket that he has received for speeding. And we also found a receipt or the copy of an order for the demolition of a car. Things are coming together, and the picture isn't a good one. Can't open that. Can't open that. Oh, at least the light worked. For all the good it does. The lights don't don't do much good in this game. Even when you turn them on, everything is still pretty dim. So this is the door that we just found the key to. I like the wallpaper or wall painting or whatever this is. I don't know why. I just like it. I like it for the game. Let me put it that way. It's a great horror game wallpaper. And we have another... This is the basement, though. This isn't the cellar where the monster was. But notice now we're going to have to get out of here by turning those red valves. Thankfully, you just click them. You don't have to stand there and keep turning them. Once you click on them, that's it. They'll do their thing. And you got to get all 4 of them. I think that did it. Yeah? Yeah, that did it. Okay. Huh. There's Whiplash again. Whew. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I forgot all about that. I will warn you when I remember that a jump scare is coming, but if I forget them myself... Ugh, apologies. And here we find what was blocking the door from the outside. So we move that aside, and I think we're supposed to come back in here. Huh. Locked out of there. I don't think this door ever opens up either. Aha. More bloodstains. Oh, you know what? I wanted to go up into the upstairs and use the answering machine. I forgot about that. Let's backtrack and do that. Put that eject button in the upstairs answering machine before we go any further. Okay. Used eject button. And there's a cassette in there that we can play in the doctor's office. So we cannot actually use the answering machine to play that. So we'll have to bring it back to the doctor's office and use that cassette player. Just have to keep checking the status of the crucifixes in the house. Make sure they're all as they should be. Because if even one crucifix is left upside down when that whole process starts, the possession will continue.
Hi, Angelo. It's me, Laura.
This is the cassette from the answering machine upstairs.
Look, I need to get to my things as soon as possible, okay? I'm in Turin tomorrow. I could come by the house and take my painting. This time, can we just please avoid any arguments? I'm tired, Angelo. And you bringing up the past isn't gonna fix things. You take care, okay?
So I think she said that was Laura, right? So that was his wife. So they're separated. She tells him that she's coming to the house to pick up some things. Just want to make sure that we got all the certificates on the wall here. Oh, I don't think we got this one. We confer on Dr. Angelo De Santis the title of Honorary Member of the Italian Association of Psychologists and Psychiatrists. This reminds me about the trip to the Pyrenees I took with Caterina when we were together. Remember, Caterina is his, the player character's love interest. And he has lost her somehow. It's not clear how just yet, but it will be. So what's my objective now? I just gotta make sure, call the police station. Okay. So for some reason, you cannot use the phone in the doctor's office. You have to go back out into the hallway and use the phone there. Okay. All right.
Porto Nuova Police Station, how can I help?
Angela, it's Inspector Toscani. I have the fax number.
Wait, let me grab a pen. Okay, shoot.
011-886-439. How's it going with those reinforcements?
I'm sending in Agent Roberti. He should be there in about 20 minutes. That's all I can do for now.
How much good do you think Agent Roberti is going to be?
Thank you.
So now I have to go back to the doctor's office and wait for the fax to come through. There it is. Patient list. Let's check it out. Okay, so now my objective is to collect the patient files. There is a metallic archive, that's a file cabinet, in the doctor's office containing various documents. Perhaps it could contain information about the patients the doctor has had since he started. Unfortunately, the archive is locked by a combination. If I can open the archive, I'll be able to match the list Angela sent me with the documents in this archive and find out all the information I need about the patients. So as you can see now, we have more string on our corkboard here. Does the doctor have a lead foot? It certainly seems that way. 1973, his divorce. And that's all we've got so far. So it looks like Wait, where's the patient list? I guess I don't need it. It's not listed there. Told you we'd be seeing that guy again. And we're gonna see him again, too. And again. And again. Okay. Follow the bloodstains. Always a good idea, right? Wow, this is taking me all the way down the hall. Okay. Revertar ab Inferno. I don't speak... I don't know what language that... I don't know if this is Italian or Latin. But it looks like Latin to me, maybe? Looks like it says, go back to hell. Return to hell. Sorry for any Italian speakers. Just forgive my bumbling attempts at pronunciation and translation. If anybody has a better idea what these writings mean, hic desinit Deus. I'm going to look up what desinit means right now. This is definitely Latin. This is definitely Latin. Okay, Latin. Hic desinit Deus. Whoops. Typo. Okay. Hic desinit Deus. God ends here. God ends here. Wow. That's... okay. Oh, of course not. Does this one work? Oh. Pleasant surprise. Okay, this looks like Camilla's room with unbelievably creepy dolls. Another one. Gee whiz.
There's quite enough space for placing the photo book.
Okay, so I need to find a photo album.
There's quite enough space for placing the photo book.
Thought that was going to open the drawer. Oh, wait a minute. How do I... Oh. I think there's a jump scare coming, guys. From what I can remember. Yeah. Yeah. you thought it was that one, but I had another one in store for us. Can't turn the light back on. I think these drawers open. Yeah, there we go. Let's check it out. So off I go to find this photo album. I don't think there's anything here to grab. No. Okay. Oh, I've already been down here. Okay, let's go this way. Ah, another bathroom. No keys in the toilet this time. But there is. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything in there. I can turn the water on here. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Already been in there. Yeah, here we have another sequence where we just have to walk all over the place until something happens. Oh.
I feel strange.
There's something I missed in here. No. Hmm. I don't remember what I should do here. Should I leave the water running? Ah. Forgot about this area here. This is the master bedroom, then. Parents' room. Another invoice. Invoice number 50/73, date 22nd, should be October 1973. Description: legal advice on the divorce proceedings between Dr. Angelo De Santis and his wife, Laura De Rossi.
I feel strange.
There's the photo book. Okay, so now we need to make our way back to the daughter's room, Camilla, and place the album on her desk. Whoa. Here we go. I gotta say, this game is really good for the sound cues, too. Because if you notice, when the possession gets going, there's a little bit of a creepy sound that happens. All right, so now I have to find a photograph for the book. And now the game wants me to go here. I'm getting this visual light cue. And this is a part where, you know, I can understand people would get annoyed because nothing really happens here. I think they want us to shut off the TV. But the same thing is going to happen again in a minute. We're going to be led back into that room for no apparent reason. Oh, there's that thing from downstairs again. I call it a thing because I don't know if you could like call it a mannequin exactly or a dummy or something, but it sure does get around. Maybe it was in here before and I just didn't register it. Oh, these open too. Nothing in there though. All right. Yeah, see, here we go. And now there's a shadow. Whoop. That's right. Go into the room where the spooky thing just happened. New area has opened up. Very tiny little TV room. Doesn't work. Archive key. This key opens the metallic archive in the doctor office. But we still need the code. We still need that number code. So we follow the candles here. Here is a rosary. You could tell that it's a rosary, but it's not exactly arranged as a rosary, because an actual rosary is divided into groups of 10 beads. The rosary we just saw on the table there is just a continuous string of beads, but an actual rosary is divided into groups of 10 beads, and then a little section of chain or rope, and then a separate bead all on its own. And on each of the 10 beads, you say a Hail Mary, and on the solo bead, you say the Lord's Prayer or an Our Father. Then the cycle starts all over again with the next set of 10. It's called a decade, with 10 Hail Marys, followed by a Glory be to the Father right after the 10 Hail Marys. Then the next decade begins with the next Our Father. So, and it's just a little nitpicky, but...
This must be Camilla, a doctor's daughter.
And there she is. Now we have to take this necklace. Let's check out our notes, though. Camilla died. Okay, let's grab the necklace. This necklace reports the full Camilla's name, so let's check it out. And you see it says Camilla Rita de Santis. So now we know her middle name, but how that's going to help us open the file cabinet, we need to get the numbers that each letter in the name Rita represents. So now we have to follow... Okay, we have to follow the sounds and correct each crucifix on each door. And we got to get there because if the crucifix stays upside down, Camilla will bust out of that room because the upside down crucifix indicates what room she is in at any given time. Door just opened, but where? Oh, there we go. So now we are going to enter the hospital chapter, and this is where I'm going to cut off this playthrough for right now, but there will be a future installment coming soon, and we will pick it up with the hospital chapter. I hope you enjoyed what we have so far. As always, thank you so much, members, for supporting the channel. You mean the world to me, and your support means the world to me. And so I hope to see you again for the next installment of Hellseed. Until then, take good care. Here comes the hospital.